The crash that changed everything. The night sky over Outpost 9 was quiet. The stars blinked like sleepy eyes. Wind moved the red dust across the empty desert. Nothing ever happened here. Then, the sky screamed. A fireball shot across the clouds, glowing orange and blue. It fell fast. Too fast. It wasn't a meteor. It was a ship. And it was crashing. The ground shook as it hit the valley floor. Fire and smoke filled the air. The quiet night was gone. Captain Juno of the Earth Mining Patrol got the call. Unidentified crash site. Possible alien ship. Send a team. Juno didn't waste time. Within minutes, a squad of soldiers flew out in a small shuttle. Their boots hit the ground. Weapons ready, eyes wide. Stay alert, Juno said. We don't know what's inside. They moved toward the wreck. The ship was like nothing they'd ever seen. Black metal, sharp edges, strange blue light still blinking. Looks alien, whispered one soldier. A door had been torn open. Something, or someone, was inside. They found her, curled in a corner of the ship, shaking, bleeding, skin pale blue, hair like silver wires, eyes closed tight. An alien girl. She looked no older than 16 in human years, but something was wrong. Her legs, burned, broken, metal shards stuck into her skin. She's alive, said the medic, but just barely. Bring her in, Juno ordered. She could be dangerous. She's just a kid, someone said, but orders were orders. They carried her out and flew back to base. At the base, doctors tried to help her. She didn't speak, didn't cry, just stared at the ceiling, silent. They didn't know her name, didn't know her story. They called her Subject Blue, but one man saw her differently. Dr. Sam Carter, a scientist who studied alien tech, came to see her. He sat beside her bed every day, talked to her even when she didn't answer. You're not a test subject, he said softly. You're a person. I can see it in your eyes. She didn't respond, but her eyes blinked. Just once, every night, Sam sat in the room and told her stories. About Earth. About rain and music and laughter. She didn't understand the words, but maybe. She understood the feeling. He showed her pictures of stars, of planets, of peace. One day he pointed to himself, Sam, then pointed to her. You? She stared at him for a long time. Then her lips moved. Just a little. Kali. That night, Kali had a dream. In her dream, fire filled the sky. Her people ran. Ships exploded. A voice called her name, but she couldn't turn back. She woke up screaming. Blue light glowed from her skin. The machines in her room beeped wildly. Soldiers ran in. Sam followed. What's happening? Someone yelled. Kali sat up, eyes wide with fear. Then, the light stopped. The glow faded, and Kali began to cry. The next day, government agents arrived. They didn't care about her name or her tears. They saw the glow. They saw the ship. They saw power. This alien girl is not a refugee, one agent said. She's a resource. She's not a thing, Sam argued. She needs help, not experiments. But they didn't. Listen. Kali was moved to the research labs behind cold glass under heavy guards. And for the first time since her crash, Kali stopped blinking, stopped speaking, stopped glowing. Back in the valley, far from the base, strange energy pulsed. Under the ground, something old, something alien, and it had felt her glow. The human who didn't look away. The walls in Research Sector 4 were too white, too clean, like the room wanted to erase anything that made Kali feel alive. She sat in the middle of it, on a steel bed, under cold lights, with machines around her that beeped without feeling. No one smiled at her anymore. No one said her name, except Dr. Sam Carter. Sam stood on the other side of the glass wall. He had come every day since the crash. He wasn't allowed to enter anymore. Orders from above. But he came anyway. He watched her. Not like a scientist. Not like a guard. Like a person trying to reach another person. "Kali," he whispered one evening, hand resting on the glass. "I know you're still in there." She didn't look at him. She hadn't looked at anyone for days, but he could see it. Her fingers tapping ever so slightly against the bed. A pattern. A message. Something was still alive inside her. Behind Sam, the government agents watched the monitors. "We need to move forward," said one man in a black. There was the energy spike from her dream. It was off the charts. This girl could be a battery, or worse, a bomb, or both, another added, grinning. They weren't interested in her story. They wanted her secrets. Meanwhile, Kaylee's dreams had changed. No more fire, no more running. Now, she stood in a glowing hall. Tall pillars reached into a sky full of moving stars. Voices whispered in a language lost to the galaxy. Her people were there, but they weren't happy to see her. "You were supposed to be the key. You were supposed to lead us home. But you broke." She woke up screaming again. This time, her breath fogged the room. The temperature dropped by 10 degrees. In a hidden corner of the lab, Mia, a young tech assistant, watched everything. She wasn't supposed to have access to Subject Blue's vitals, but she was curious and clever. Late one night, she found something strange in the data. "Her cells, and they're storing power," she whispered. "Not just electricity, something else, something old." The energy inside Kaylee wasn't random, it was intelligent. Sam had had enough. He wasn't a fighter, he hated rules. But he knew one thing. They were hurting her. And he couldn't let that continue. He called Mia. "I need a way in," he said. 1 hour, no cameras, no alarms. Mia hesitated. "If we're caught, we're finished." "If we don't try," Sam replied, "she's finished." At midnight, the lights in Sector 4 flickered. For exactly 62 seconds, the security feed went dark. Sam rushed inside. Kaylee looked up. Eyes met. For the first time since the lab, she reached out. Her fingers touched his arm. A shock of energy passed through him. Not painful, but powerful. And in that moment, Sam saw. Not with his eyes, with something else. He saw Kali's memory. Flashback. A golden world. Oceans that glowed at night. Trees with silver leaves. A people who lived in harmony with the stars, and Kali, smiling. Strong. Standing with others her age, wearing a sapi symbol on her chest. She was a guardian, a protector, chosen. But then the war came, not from space, from within. Her people turned on each other. Some wanted peace, others wanted control. Kali was given a mission: take the heart of Luma, a device older than their world, and escape. Find help. Find safety. But the ship was attacked. She crashed. Alone. The heart was still with her, inside her. Back to present. Sam stumbled back, breathing hard. "You're not just a survivor," he whispered. "You're the last of something. Great." Kali nodded. "Just once." She opened her hand. From inside her palm, a dim light rose. Not a machine, not metal. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The heart of Luma, and it was waking up. But outside the room, danger was already coming. Agent Graves had noticed the security glitch. He stormed down the hall with soldiers. "Open the door," he barked. "Now!" Sam turned to Kaylee. "We have to run," he said. But Kaylee stood still. Then she raised, her hand toward the door. Boom! A wave of blue energy blasted outward. The door exploded off its hinges. Soldiers flew backward like leaves in the wind. Kaylee didn't smile, didn't cheer. She just looked tired. Sirens wailed. Red lights flashed. Sam grabbed her hand. "We're not safe here," he said. "But I promise, I'll never leave you behind." Kaylee didn't answer, but this time she walked with him. Not carried, not dragged. She walked, one step at a time. The lab rats and the broken heart. Somewhere deep under the Earth base, where sunlight never touched and secrets never died, there was a lab, not just any lab, the Black Core. This is where things went when they were too powerful, too dangerous, or too alive to be free. And this is where they took Kaylee after her escape attempt. 3 hours earlier, Kaylee and Sam had almost made it. They reached the cargo bay just a few meters from the launch deck. Mia was waiting with a stolen access card and a bag of supplies. "The ship's ready," Mia whispered. "Just press the throttle and boom!" Gas filled the hallway. Kaylee screamed. Sam fell to his knees. The world blurred. Voices shouted. Boots thundered. Everything went black. Now Kaylee lay in a strange metal chair. Straps bound her arms and legs. Her silver hair stuck to her face. Needles poked into her skin. Wires ran to blinking machines. Across from her, a tall woman in a black lab coat smiled. Dr. Riven. Cold eyes, sharp voice, and not an ounce of pity in her bones. "Welcome back, Subject Blue," she said, tapping a tablet. "Let's see what secrets you're hiding." Kaylee didn't answer. She stared at the ceiling. Her eyes were dull, not angry, not afraid, just empty. Sam wasn't allowed near the labs anymore. They called him a security risk. He called it betrayal. "She trusted me," he said, pacing inside the security office. "She trusted us and we locked her in a cage." "She's not human," one officer muttered. "She's an alien weapon. Would you rather she destroy us?" Sam didn't reply. He just looked out the window and clenched his fists. Back in the lab, Riven adjusted the frequency on a machine. A high-pitched tone filled the room. Kali twitched. Her skin glowed faintly, blue patterns crawling like veins of light. "Yes," Riven whispered. "React to it. Show me more." But Kaylee closed her eyes and forced herself to think of home, of wind between silver trees, of the laughter of her little brother, of the promise she made. Protect the heart, no matter what. Mia, meanwhile, was digging through restricted files in the data core. She knew something was wrong. The whole escape had been too easy. The trap had been too well timed. And what she found confirmed her worst fears. Operation Harvest? A secret project, authorized by the High Command. Objective: extract alien energy from Subject Blue, transform it into a superweapon, with or without the subject's survival. Mia ran straight to Sam. "They're not just studying her," she said, breathless. "They're draining her. They're killing her." Kaylee couldn't feel her arms anymore. She was cold, not from the room but from the inside. Her light was fading. And still, the machines beeped. Still, Riven smiled. "We're so close," she said. "Soon, you'll make us gods." But then, something changed. A spark in Kali's eyes, a tremble in her fingers, and a memory, not hers, rose from deep within her mind. Flashback: a massive alien city, floating towers, crystal energy humming in the air. A council of elders speaks urgently. If the heart is damaged, the core of Luma will collapse. We must send a guardian, one we trust. They look to her. Younger Kali stands proud. "I won't fail," she says. But then, an explosion. Screams. Betrayal. Back in the present, Kaylee opened her eyes. The light returned. Her body trembled. The machines sparked. Riven stepped back. "What are you?" Boom. Energy exploded from Kylie's chest. The straps melted. The glass cracked. The lab went dark. Kaylee floated above the chair, glowing like a fallen star. But her face, still full of pain, still full of heartbreak. Sam and Mia burst into the lab moments later, gas masks on, pushing past fleeing scientists. Kaylee turned slowly to face them, but she didn't smile. "You left me," she whispered, her voice low and broken. Again. No, Sam said quickly. I tried. We didn't know they trapped us too. They lied, Mia added. To all of us, you're not a subject. You're a key. Kaylee blinked. The heart pulsed in her chest. Alarms screamed. Security teams approached fast. Sam held out his hand. We can still get out. We have a plan. Kaylee looked at his hand, then at her own. The energy inside her was unstable, too powerful, too wild. If I come, she said softly, I might hurt you. Then we'll take that risk, Sam said. Together, Mia added. For a long second, Kaylee didn't move. Then she lowered herself to the ground and reached for Sam's hand. Their fingers touched, and this time, the light didn't explode. It hummed, balanced, controlled, alive. But far above, in the orbiting command ship, General Kree watched the scene through a red hologram. Phase 2 has begun, he said to his second-in-command. She's activated the heart. Do we move in? No, let her run. She will lead us to the others, to the source. He turned to the window, watching Earth spin below. And when she does, we'll finish what her people started. The secret hidden in her blood. The trio, Kali, Sam, and Mia, hid deep, inside the old tunnels beneath the Earth base. These weren't part of the official maps. They were leftovers from the first war with the Martian rebels. Dusty, cold, forgotten. But tonight, they were the only safe place. Kaylee sat against a wall, breathing slow. Her light had faded, but inside her chest, the heart of Luma still pulsed faintly. Sam knelt beside her. He handed her a small water bottle and a protein bar. We need... You strong, he said. Kaylee nodded. Her voice was low. They will come. Let them, Mia said, loading a tiny laser pistol. I've been waiting to zap someone in a suit all week. Kaylee raised an eyebrow. Was that a joke? Sam smiled. Maybe, just maybe, she was beginning to feel human. Far above them, inside the high command tower, the world was reacting. The escape had made headlines. Earth's government called Kaylee a rogue alien threat. A live broadcast showed a fake video of her attacking scientists, clearly edited. Public fear was rising, which was exactly what the real villains wanted. Back in the tunnel, Mia unrolled a screen from her pack. I downloaded the files from Dr. Riven's secret drive, she said. There's something weird in here, not just experiments, not just tests, blueprints. For what? Sam asked. Mia clicked through a series of glowing documents, alien symbols, energy charts, DNA strands that didn't look human or even organic. They were trying to copy her blood, she said. Use it to build a new energy source, infinite power. But every test subject died. She tapped the last file. Except one. The screen showed a small cryo chamber. Inside it, a boy, around 10 years old, blue veins glowing under his skin, eyes closed, heart barely beating. He's like me, Kali whispered. Mia nodded. They used your energy, injected it into him. He's part of you now. Sam frowned. Where is he? Sector 7, Mia said. Underground. The real facility. The one not even the president knows about. Kali stood slowly, her hands clenched. The air grew cold. We have to go. Sam stood with her. We'll get him out, but we need to be smart. No more hiding, Kali said. I'm done being a ghost. That night they made their move. Mia hacked the access gates. Sam stole a guard uniform. Kaylee hid her glow under a cloak made from light-dampening fabric. They moved like shadows. Down, 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 into Sector 7. The lower levels felt wrong. Lights flickered. Walls hummed with alien energy, and the air smelled like metal and ozone. Mia whispered, "They've been powering this place with her blood. They reached a final door. Thick, locked, coated. Callie stepped forward. She touched it. The metal melted. Inside was a lab unlike anything they had seen. Floating tanks, alien symbols etched in the floor. Machines humming with power so strong the walls shook, and in the center, the boy. He was asleep. Wires plugged into his spine. His skin shimmered like a pearl. Kaylee rushed to him. "His name is Loro," she whispered. "He's my people's last seed." "Seed?" Sam asked. "A child born from the heart's will. Not from blood. Not from womb. From hope." Sam blinked. "That's not creepy at all." Kaylee placed a hand on the glass. Loro's eyes opened, bright, glowing, ancient. And then, the alarm screamed. They were surrounded in seconds. Guards, drones, and behind them, Dr. Riven, still alive, still smiling. "Touching, really," she said. "But the boy is ours now. He's the battery of a new age." "You can't control him," Kaylee said. "You don't understand what he is." "Oh, but I do," Riven said, raising a small device. "I know his secret." She pressed a button. Loro screamed. His tank filled with light. His skin cracked, his eyes bled energy. "Stop it," Sam shouted. "He's not ready." Kali cried, but Riven didn't stop, until Loro exploded with light. The tank shattered, the lab shook, and from the light, Loro stepped out. Older, changed, floating a foot above the ground. "You woke me too early," he said in a voice that echoed with stars. "You broke the cycle." Riven backed away. What are you?" "I was the hope of a dying race," Loro said. "But now, I am the warning." Kali stepped forward, reaching for him. "Loro, it's me, Kali." His eyes softened for a moment, then turned cold. "You left me, alone in the dark. They hid you. I didn't know." "The heart chose you," he said. "But now, it chooses no one." He raised his hand. Riven vaporized in a flash of light, just gone. Ash on the floor. Sam pulled Mia behind a desk. "Okay, plan B." "We had a plan A?" Kaylee walked toward Loro. "I'm sorry. I failed. But we can still fix this." He looked at her. So much power. So much pain. "Then prove it," he said. "Take back the heart." He reached into his chest. Yes, into it. And pulled out a piece of glowing crystal. He handed it to her. "If you're still worthy, it won't kill you." Kaylee took it. It burned. She screamed. Her body lit up. She fell to her knees. The tunnels above began to shake. Mia stared at the ceiling. I think we're about to meet the floor. Or what's under it," Sam muttered. Kaylee's voice echoed, "I see it now. The truth?" The others, and in her mind thousands of voices, millions, her people, weren't dead. They were trapped, in the heart, waiting, rebellion in the shadows. The base was collapsing, not from explosions, from awakening. The heart of Luma, now active in Kaylee's chest, had sent out a silent call. A frequency so old, even. The stars forgot it, but the earth remembered, deep in its bones. Machines buzzed, lights flickered. Alarms screamed. Sam, Mia, and Kali ran. Behind them, the child-turned being of light, Loro, floated through fire and sparks, silent as a ghost, bright as a small sun. "Where are we going?" Mia yelled over the chaos. Kaylee didn't stop, didn't blink. Her voice came like thunder in a whisper. "To the gate." Meanwhile, far above the base, General Kree stood aboard his orbiting warship, hands behind his back. His eyes watched the chaos below through a glowing red hologram. "So," he said, smiling slightly, "she's activated the gate." "Shall we strike now?" asked his aide. "No," Kree said. "She's opening it for us. Let her think she has control." He turned away, lighting a cigar. Sometimes the best trap is the one your enemy builds for you. Beneath the base, deep under Sector 7, past locked doors and forgotten tunnels, Kaylee led them to it. The Gate of Origin, a massive circle of alien stone covered in markings that pulsed with light as she approached. "What is it?" Sam asked. Kaylee reached out her hand. "It's a ship," she said. "And it's alive." With a shudder, the circle opened, not outward but inward like water parting in the air. Beyond it, a room of light and floating platforms revealed itself. Mia whispered, "I officially do not get paid enough for this." Inside, the air was heavy, thick with energy. The moment Callie stepped through the gate, her feet lifted off the ground. She didn't walk. She floated. Laura followed her, silent, watching. Sam and Mia trailed behind, amazed and terrified. In the center of the ship was a throne. No, not a throne. A control core. It pulsed in time with Kaylee's heartbeat. She walked toward it and remembered. Flashback. Millions of years ago, the guardians of Luma sat around the core of their great ship. "The humans will rise," one elder said. "Their spirit is strong." "Or dangerous," said another. "They build weapons before wisdom." "Then we guide them," said the youngest voice, a familiar one, Kali. "We give them light, not war." But her warning was too late. Earth rose with fire, and the guardians fell. Their spirits were locked away, waiting. Back to present, Kali placed her hands on the core, and the ship awoke. The ground shook, walls pulled back, screens blinked to life, and far, far above the planet, dozens of ancient Lumen satellites reactivated. Earth had always been watched. They were never alone. Suddenly, crack gunfire. The room filled with Earth soldiers. "Stand down," barked the commander. "This is a restricted zone." "You're too late," Kaylee said without turning. "You never had control." The soldiers opened fire, but the bullets froze midair, and then melted. Laura stepped forward, raising a single hand. The soldiers dropped, not dead, asleep. Sam looked at Kaylee. "You said you'd protect both worlds, not destroy them," Kaylee turned to him. Her eyes glowed, but her voice shook. "I still want that. But Earth doesn't want peace. It wants power." "Not everyone," Mia said. "Some of us still believe in you." "Then help me," Kaylee said, "because this ship isn't just for escape." She pointed to the center display. A glowing star map filled with red dots. "These are distress signals. From my people. Trapped. Scattered across galaxies. We can free them." "And then what?" Sam asked. "Do they forgive Earth?" Kali didn't answer, because even she wasn't sure. Above, General Kree smiled as the ship's energy spike reached his monitors. "Prepare for planetary insertion," he said. "Time to collect the prize." "But sir, the ship is active." "Exactly," Kree said. "She's powering it for us." He stepped onto the deck of his dropship. Behind him, thousands of elite troops, ready for war. Back in the gate room, Loro touched the display. "The others are calling," he said. "Some are close, some are broken." Callie turned to Sam. "I need to leave just for a little while. I can find them, bring them back." "You're not going alone," Mia said. "We've seen what happens when you're alone." Kaylee smiled softly, then froze. "They're here." The ship's alarms howled, on screen. General Kree's dropships descending through the clouds. The rebellion had begun. Earth thought it controlled the skies. But they had forgotten. This was not their planet anymore. The ancient ship rose from the mountain, tearing through rock and flame. The gate glowed as the ship lifted into the air. Fighter jets swarmed it. Kali stood on the bridge, arms raised. "No more running." The ship's shields bloomed like a flower of light. Jets exploded. Kree's fleet fired. Kaylee whispered a single word. "Sleep." And half the fleet froze in place. Systems dead. Crews unconscious. But Kree wasn't done. He activated a dark sphere inside his ship. "Plan Omega," he said. "Release the virus." His ship launched a black dart at the alien vessel. It struck. The lights flickered. Kaylee gasped. "They found the kill code." Loro turned to her. "We can't hold much longer." Sam ran to the console. "How do we stop it?" Kylie looked at him. "You can't." Then she did something none of them expected. She walked to the emergency pod, opened the hatch, and placed Loro inside. "You have to finish what I started," she said. "You're coming with me," he said. "No," she whispered. "I have to stay and reboot the core." Sam grabbed her arm. "Don't." Kali smiled sadly. "Sometimes the hero has to stay behind." She pressed a button. The pod launched, and then she turned, faced the core, faced Earth, and let the heart fully open. The storm within. The storm within. The stars looked calm that night, which was a lie. Nothing was calm anymore. The escape pod shot across Earth's upper atmosphere like a silver arrow inside it. Loro, the last seed of a dying alien race, and behind him, Kali was gone. At least that's what he believed. Down on Earth, the explosion could be seen from every continent. A glowing flower of light erupted from the mountains, silent, but bright enough to blind satellites. Then, total blackout. Military, communications fried, space fleets lost, and the alien ship? Gone from every radar. The world was terrified, and suddenly, very quiet. In an underground hideout in the Arctic, Sam stared at a hologram of Kaylee's last moment, over and over again. She pressed the button. She smiled. She vanished. Mia sat nearby, pale and quiet. "She's really gone," she whispered. Sam didn't speak. He hadn't since the pod landed, since Loro stepped out glowing and grief-stricken. But now Loro walked up to them. "She's not dead." Sam looked up, eyes sharp. "We saw her explode with a star." "She didn't explode," Loro said. "She transformed." Inside the heart collie's body floated in complete darkness. No sound, no breath. Just memory. Voices echoed through her mind. "You were the hope. You were the failure. You are the key." And then, silence until something reached out to her. A touch, a pulse. Not from outside, from within. The heart wasn't just a weapon, it was a vessel, a prison for her people. And now, she had opened the door. Suddenly, light. Kaylee gasped awake, surrounded by floating spirits, beings of light and memory, the guardians of Luma. "You opened the gate," one said. "I had no choice," Kali whispered. "They would have used the heart to kill everything. You did well, but the storm is not over." The spirits showed her a vision. Earth's leaders weren't planning to stop. They were preparing a final weapon. Project Eclipse, a space-based cannon designed to wipe out any alien tech on Earth, including Kaylee, Loro, and what remained of the Lumen signal. It was set to launch in 72 hours. "If it fires," the spirit said, "not only Earth but 10 nearby systems will burn." Kali clenched her fists. Then it's time they learned who they're dealing with. Back on Earth, Sam and Mia tracked Eclipse's launch site, a secret moon base under international flags, but run by General Kree himself. "Of course it's him," Mia muttered. "He's like space cancer. They needed allies. Fast." But the Earth was divided. Half the population feared Kaylee. The other half worshipped her. She was no longer a girl. She was a myth. Loro stood before a crowd of refugees, survivors, believers. His voice echoed. "Kali gave you peace. Your leaders chose fear. But now, we rise." People raised their hands. Some had symbols. Drawn on their skin, the Lumen spiral. A rebellion was forming. Not just in the shadows now, in the open. Then, the ground trembled, the sky split, and in the center of the Arctic base, a rift opened, glowing, sparking. Kaylee returned, not burned, not broken, but evolved. Her eyes shimmered with galaxies, her voice held the weight of suns, and she smiled. "Miss me?" Sam stared in awe. "You survived." Kali nodded. "Barely." "What are you now?" Mia whispered. Kali looked. At her hands they glowed, but not wildly, controlled. "I am the heart now, not just its keeper." "You're a weapon," Loro said softly. "No," Kaylee replied. "I'm a choice." The plan: they had 48 hours to stop Eclipse. Kali couldn't destroy it, not without setting off the galaxy-wide alarms that would trigger alien hunters from distant systems. So they had to infiltrate it, disable it, and steal back Earth's freedom from its own fear. Loro would distract the defense fleet. Mia would hack the security grid. Sam would face Kree. Kali? She would walk straight into the core. Before they left, Kaylee looked at Sam. "If I don't come back?" "Don't," he said. "You have to lead." "No," he replied. "I'll follow you anywhere." She smiled. "Then try not to die." The mission: their stolen ship pierced Earth's orbit under cloak. Eclipse spun in the distance like a giant eye watching the void. They landed under cover, moved through tunnels, but something felt wrong. Too easy, too quiet. And then, "You're early," said a voice. General Kree, waiting at the core, alone, smiling. "You wanted a war, didn't you?" Kali said. "No," Kree replied. "I wanted a reveal." He snapped his fingers. Dozens of tubes opened. Clones, alien-human hybrids, Kaylee's DNA, Loro's light. "Meet the future, Kaylee. You were just the blueprint." Sam raised his AI gun. "And you're just the mistake." Chaos exploded. Mia triggered a virus in the base. Loro held back the clones. Kaylee and Kree fought in the core. Blades of energy, fists of fire, memories as weapons. But Kree had one last trick. A second Eclipse cannon, already charging. Kali screamed. Energy flared. But she didn't kill him. She reached inside him. Saw the truth. He wasn't born evil. He was a child who saw his family destroyed by alien war. He just wanted to make sure no one had that kind of power again. Then learn to forgive, Kylie said. She didn't kill him. She took his pain and left him alive. They destroyed the cannon. The base crumbled. And as Kylie flew the team out, Earth looked up and saw not a weapon, but a guardian. The spirit that wouldn't break. 3 days later, the Earth was silent. No wars, no missiles, no broadcasts. People looked to the sky, not with fear, but with hope. But far beyond the clouds, far beyond the orbit of any satellite, a message traveled. A signal, buried deep inside the data pulse Kaylee used to disable the Eclipse cannon. Not a mistake, not a hack, a beacon, and now, it had been received. The final threat in the cold heart of deep space beyond the Lumen systems, past the old galactic borders, a race stirred. Not human, not Lumen. Older, angrier. The Eridani swarm, parasites of light and mind, the destroyers of Kaylee's people. The true reason her planet had sent the heart away in the first place. They had been asleep, now, awakened by the signal, and heading straight for Earth. Kaylee felt them before the rest of the galaxy did. She collapsed mid-flight during a peaceful diplomatic mission to Mars. Loro caught her, eyes wide. "You saw it?" he whispered. "They're coming," Kaylee gasped. "They know I'm here." Earth's governments panicked. They turned back to fear. Again, some wanted to hand Kaylee over. "Let her face them," said one leader. "It's her fight." "It's our world," Sam yelled. "She saved us." But fear spreads faster than light, and now Kali stood once more, not as a hero, But as a target, Mia, Loro, Sam, they stood beside her. You could run, Mia said. They'd never find you. Or we run with you, Loro added. Kali shook her head. This is my storm. My people called them. I'll finish what they started. The choice. The heart pulsed stronger now. Not just a tool, a voice. It offered her two paths. Fight the Eridani. Become light. Become fury. Become the sword that cuts through stars. Or sacrifice the heart. End its power forever. Seal the gate and trap the Eridani between dimensions. But the second choice would kill her. Completely. No rebirth, no return. Only silence. She stared out at Earth one last time, so full of chaos, so full of beauty. You break things, she whispered, and still, I love you. The final battle, the Eridani arrived, like a swarm of suns. Ships made of bone and plasma, voices that echoed inside the minds of every living thing. We remember you, Kali. Little spark, little failure. You ran. You broke. You burned your home to escape us. Kali stood on the edge of Earth's orbit, surrounded by fleets from both Earth and Mars. Not this time. She didn't. Wait, she flew. Light exploded from her body like a nova. She dove straight into the Eridani swarm faster than thought. Loro followed, a comet of blue fire. Sam and Mia, in a stolen Earth cruiser, provided cover fire. The battle was chaos. Eridani tendrils, wrapped around ships, draining life. Kali tore through them like wind through fire. But it wasn't enough. The heart burned. Too much. Too fast. You'll die, Loro cried. You can't hold it. I don't need to hold it, she said. I need to set it free. She reached the center of the swarm. Opened the heart. Time stopped. She saw everything. Her past. Her failures. Her people. Her promise. Then she saw Earth. One child, looking at the sky, drawing her symbol in chalk on the street. One woman, refusing to hate the aliens even after losing her husband in the attack. Sam, Mia, Loro, all of them, still believing. Goodbye, Kaylee whispered. She activated the final protocol. The Lumen Singularity. A pulse of light that could only be used once. Not to destroy, but to lock away evil forever. The Eridani screamed, and then silence. Aftermath. Hearth survived. The sky was clear, the swarm was gone, and Kaylee was not. Her body had vanished. Her spirit did not. Loro became Earth's new ambassador, a bridge between galaxies. Mia founded the Kaylee Institute to protect alien-human relations. Sam? He vanished. Some say he walks the forests at night, whispering to stars. Others say he waits. 1 year later, a flower bloomed on Mars, a flower that had never existed before. Its petals shimmered like starlight. A child picked it and heard a whisper. You are not alone. The legacy Kali was more than a survivor, more than a weapon. She was a spirit, one that wouldn't break, one that taught humans how to feel again. And somewhere, in the dark corners of space, a heartbeat still echoes, waiting, not for war, but for the next spark of hope,